Was your ex's mother always getting in the way of your relationship, trying to control things or putting her opinion in where it didn't belong? And she would get in the way of the times that you were going to hang out. And it really just seemed like she didn't like you. And what's interesting is that she didn't like any of her son's other exes either. If that's the case, watch this video. Hey, this is Coach Benny, and I help people get their exes back. And one of the things I run into, really fairly common, actually, I just had 2 of these cases today, is something called enmeshment. Enmeshment happens when, let's say, for example, the mother gets emotionally abandoned by the father, okay? Or you got a couple. So husband abandons the wife emotionally. And that wife makes her son her emotional confidant. In essence, she becomes her person. And this can get really weird. Sometimes it's quasi-romantic, almost sexual in nature. But also many times it's just like that's her bestie or just her person. And when you come along as the woman and you are taking up her son's time, et cetera, she will get combative and she will start to influence him to break away from you. This is because that's her person, it's her time, and she doesn't want you getting in the way. So if it seemed like she never liked you, if it seemed like she was always like kind of hijacking the time that you were spending together, if it seemed like she was applying pressure on your ex to get rid of you, or at least making issues out of little things, probably what was going on was enmeshment, especially if her relationship with her husband was not good. For example, they're not going out on dates. Now, enmeshment can be really confusing because from the outside it looks like, oh, he and his mom are really close and it seems like it's a nice relationship. But in actuality, it's another facet of neglect. Because what happens is that enmeshed child becomes the support system for the mother. He becomes the energy source for the mother, and everything becomes about her and not about him. So in essence, that person that's enmeshed can become a dismissive avoidant in their attachment style because they're experiencing neglect as a child. But it doesn't look like neglect. It looks like they're super close. So especially if the dad isn't present or he's just like super aloof or stoic, they don't do feelings or whatever. And then the mom, it seems like they're really close, but really she's just leeching energy off the son. That's going to amount to a dismissive avoidant attachment style. So now all of a sudden, not only are you dealing with the mom and she's your enemy, but also you have somebody that is a dismissive avoidant. So they don't open up about their feelings. They don't communicate with you. And essentially, you're going to have that pressure from the mom too. And it just seems like you just can't get anywhere. Now, I'm not a psychologist, so I can't tell you how to address the enmeshment. But what I can do is teach you the principles of attraction and what you need to do to re-attract somebody with a dismissive avoidant attachment style. And if you want my help with this process, click into my profile, click this link right here, set up a call with me, and tell me your story, and I'll give you a step-by-step game plan to re-attract your ex.